to it. So the players for Regnant, Scorpio, Monster, Pelican San, Louis, and Sky Nexus. The players of Pat's Asleep. We've got Harish, Josh Glitch, Dowie, Usus, and Pat himself. Now, Pat's Asleep are ex-demise, so they still have that .dms at the end of their name. But as you can see, we're getting on into map number 1 now. Operator bands coming through. I expect we'll see the fairly standard, more regimented bands that we expect to see on Consulate, because these teams are both very competent and well developed in terms of their strategies and what they want to achieve. So a Nomad ban probably going to be our initial one. Oh no, it's going to be a Capital ban. And I really like a Capital ban just in general because he is such a strong operator, and when Capital isn't banned out, I want to bring him basically every single round where it's necessary. And when we get onto Clubhouse, if Capital is not banned out there, we're going to see hopefully a lot of Capital used to help with that garage take. And everyone's favorite to ban at the moment, the hot topic of the minute, Ying is going to be eliminated from the proceedings. So we will still have that Nomad, the Gridlock left up, going to make those runouts and rotations a bit more difficult for the defenders. Defensive bans, a Valkyrie, a very strong operator on Consulate in specific. You know, just due to the shape of the map, you can throw out 2 of those cams and cut and be able to observe the entirety of the outside. And Echo, we're not seeing the mirror ban because this is Consulate, and it's like the one map where you never ban mirror because she's only useful on about 1.5 sites if you are playing downstairs, and then potentially if you're playing that teller's area. But we are going to get into round number 1. Regnant starting off on attack. And they're going to be going up against Pat's Asleep taking down that downstairs site. And as I mentioned, we're having that mirror being shown by Pat. So, it might be one of the few times that we're actually going to be able to see mirror getting played. And yet that mirror is going to be locked in as Usus is using that 6th pick to switch from the dock over to the pulse. But Sky Nexus didn't waver from that IQ. So it's going to make his job a little bit more difficult in trying to cut off those rotations. Now, defending the top floor defending downstairs generally requires defending the top floor and the middle floor as well. You can't just isolate yourself in the basement due to the amount of soft destruction that you can be exposed to from up above. So I'm really interested to see how they're going to choose to defend that bathroom area in particular. Are they going to make it hell in a cell with one person in there wasting as much time as possible? They do have the mirror, so she could be used as well to give a player inside of that space a little bit more lines of sight. But it is difficult to defend that spot by yourself. A little bit of assistance either on that floor with you or on the floor above is always greatly appreciated, I'm sure, from the rest of the defenders. Now, while Thermite and Thatcher are both available, we're only seeing Scorpio on the Hibana. Now, that might be because they are expecting to attack the top floor first of all, so you would just use the Hibana to open up the little bit of meeting or projector, if you'd like to call it. Instead, oh no, he's just rappelling on in. Josh Glitch in such a good position, might be able to get a kill, but no. The drone spots him out and he runs away, losing about 30 health in the process. That was so close to being an opening pick for the defenders, but now Josh Glitch, he's not going to run all the way away. He's going to try and hide inside of the bathroom, pushing himself deeper into the stalls and trying to get into a little bit of an elevated position, so it's harder to predict where he's going to be. This is going to really slow down that top floor clear. They're going to have to waste a lot more time making sure that he's not there. And oh, Scorpio droned past him, didn't spot out where he was. And Pat shooting the drone at the top of the stairs. They're going to be concerned about the top of yellow stairs as well. Lots of pre-fires coming on through. They seem to be aware that he was in the bathroom now. And no rotation. Oh, Josh Glitch, he needs to land this shot onto the IQ. But no, IQ's going to take him out. His head sticking up above the toilet stalls. Now, minute 40 to go. Top floor has been secured for Regnant, but that's still 2 floors away from the site itself, and we've still got a mirror to worry about who was towards that middle floor. But bathroom doesn't seem to be defended at the moment. Yeah, it looks like all the defenders are down inside of the site itself, which is going to make it so much easier for Regnant to open up these lines of sight and force players out of position, eventually helping with their execute later on. C4 prepped and ready to go. Pat just waiting for it, but no. Detonates her without getting anything. Does give him a little bit of an angle if he chooses, and uses with 2 people being spotted out on this pulse scanner. Might be able to do a lot of work from back there. The push starting to come on through. About a minute has passed since the first kill of the round, and not much has happened. Louis in a great position there, and they're setting up for a backside take. They've not forced users out, so he could still be a real thorn in the works. But no, there he is, Scorpio getting the kill, taking him down. 5 versus 3, favor of Regnant. Pants asleep. Need to find something. Need to find a kill to make this work at the moment. But this kitchen take, I don't think they were expecting it. And it's going to make everything so hard. Dowie in such a difficult position, needing to cover both sides. He can be pushed from either direction at the moment. Harris, his only support, as Pat is watching the other way. The shots coming through. Harris gets one. Pat gets another. Unable to land the shots onto the third. Now, Louis has that mirror window to work with, but lots of damage being dealt onto him. Still 3 versus 2. The diffuser goes down. Harris able to take him out. And Sky Nexus and Louis able to finish it off right at the end there. Regnant almost throwing that away with the diffuser just being pushed on out deeper into the site when they already had that kitchen control. But great recovery by them. And Regnant able to secure the round. So, as we're moving into the operator picks for the second round, we're going to see a top floor defense coming through, and I think CD is now here and ready to join me. How you doing today, man?
I'm alright, mate. Sorry about the late arrival. I do apologize for that, but I had to go eat. But
you're here now. That's
here
all that
anyway.
matters.
I'm here now, and I can watch this great game unfold.
Yes. So we just saw a very explosive round 1 with Regnant taking it by the skin of their teeth on that downstairs attack. And now we're going to see the defenders move to the top floor. What kind of strategy do you think we're going to see coming out from Regnant in this time? Are we going to see a more of an admin take or a yellow stairs push?
I would expect an admin take, but obviously we're not 100% sure. It could be a yellow stairs. Yellow stairs seems to be a lot harder now, especially with Wamai in play. It seems like it's just very difficult for teams to push out that Jaeger and the Wamai out of those positions. It takes a lot of utility, and it just seems a little bit easier to go for the admin side. Obviously, again, like I said, we don't know what they're going to do. They could do something completely different and just all repel in to site, which doesn't seem like it might happen. They all could just do that, but the chances of that happening are quite low.
Yeah, the admin take does seem most likely. They're using a lot of reinforcements over by yellow, and use this once the spawn peak. You see someone take some shots but not able to land any damage. And something I'd like to point out is that they haven't used a reinforcement over by the vending machines towards the printer room. Usually that's a reinforcement you put in place so that someone can play closer on that wall, potentially in mute with a shotgun, but they've not done that today. It's going to make it a little harder to defend that area.
Yeah, you would normally see a reinforcement there, like you said, just to deny easy access to long desk. But with especially with the amount of soft breach that Regnant have on board, it's going to be made quick work of that soft print on the wall. It seems like maybe, I don't know whether that's just because they're using.
He's already in.
Elsewhere. Yeah.
He was already in the site, but Dowie wasn't on his cams the one time. That's forgiven. Able to get the first kill. That's Monster gone, and then Ash off the board already.
Well played to Regnant, I guess, for spotting that opening, just not executing on it enough. But now it's all going downhill. Usus is going to find a kill to Pelican on the run out as well, and that's a large run out, and he's not going to get punished for his retreat back into the building.
Yeah, that was a long run out. I think he actually might have jumped out of the windows itself, but as you say, able to get the kill. That's 2 players down for Regnant now, and it's not looking like they'll be able to secure this, but anything can happen in this game, and with these players are all very skilled. It only takes a second and a couple of shots for the entire round to turn on its head.
Yeah, and there's plenty of time as well for Regnant to work with. And you still have a lot of utility on the board. You still have, obviously, Louis with, obviously, a great gun, but you still have 2 stuns and 2 impacts there. He has a lot to work with. And talking about utility, it seems like there isn't a lot of denial going towards the pulse. I'm not sure where Pat's actually playing. but I'm sure he's still going to be available late round, and you really should be seeing Sky Nexus trying to push that out with his scanner, but it doesn't seem like they don't really have the manpower and all the time really. It's going to take a lot of effort to clear out that pulse, and with 40 seconds on the clock, you're not going to be able to do that. So you're just going to have to rely on him missing a C4 or your IQ doing work. But Josh is going to walk up spiral stairs and is going to find Louis and down Scorpio. So it's all left down to Sky Nexus.
Yeah, Skynex is left alone, 1 versus 5, 30 seconds to go. He doesn't really have much of an opportunity. Deals a little bit of damage, but gets immediately traded out, and that's a flawless round for Pat's Asleep. And that was quite interesting. They were able to get a lot of control over that meeting area, but Pat's Asleep opened everything up in a counter angle so that as soon as they went in, they were just in for a world of hurt. And yeah, not really much that you could do if you're Regnant, especially losing those 2 players very early on. We are going to see them go back downstairs for their second try at defending that site in particular. And they're going for a little bit of a change, I think. Yeah, they brought out the Vigil this time. How do you think that's going to play into the round, should they elect to keep him on?
Well, the problem with the Jaeger room in the first round was that he got droned out and he just had to stay inside of that bathroom, right? And he couldn't really do much. And you've still got your Jaeger on the board because, well, he's very much needed in every setup, really. And that's why you see Jaeger has like an 85% pick rate. Like, you've seen it drop a little bit because Wamai's being brought into play, but I would say that on every single site, you need a Jaeger or a Wamai.
Yeah, that's a very interesting... Yeah, that's a very interesting point you've mentioned, you know. The utility meta that we see coming in from the attackers and the defenders, where it's the defenders have Goyo shields, mirror windows, evil eyes, so the attackers are then bringing flashbangs, stun nades, frag nades, and all the rest of it. It's then forcing Jaeger and Wamai to be brought more and more. It's almost like making Jaeger 2-2 wasn't the solution, and him being a 3-speed wasn't the option. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this game, and as we are getting on into the action phase, we are seeing Josh Glitch going for that Roma, as you mentioned. See if he's going to be more effective than the Jaeger in the first round.
Yeah, he should definitely be more effective, as we mentioned. The reason why he died the first round was because he got droned. He played a very clever position, but because he got droned, he wasn't able to make it work. But now, on the Vigil, he can be droned, in theory, as in sense of an area. But that's not good enough at this level. You need to know exact locations, otherwise you will be punished.
Yeah, and the Vigil, I believe, has impact nades as well, so might be able to create a cheeky little rotate for himself out of bathroom, which is where he's currently located, and something that really affected that Jaeger in the first round. The admin take once again coming through, and ooh, Harris playing this cut-off angle across the top, waiting to see if anyone just goes for the push, because we did have Monster in the first round do what he's done basically every round and just rush on in to try and take as much ground as possible.
Yeah, Josh Glitch dropping back there, I believe, like, we've mentioned a lot about the Vigil this round, but the way he's playing it is... He's playing it well, because you can still be seeing the floor above, I believe, if you play in certain positions. So the attackers are going to think that there's still a Vigil upstairs. And as you can see, Louis being very careful with how he's pushing these angles. And it just slows down the attack. As you can see, there's a minute and a half left, and they've barely got the top floor control. They've only just done that, and they've still got 2 Romas, I believe, in Jaeger and Vigil to push out. And there you go. There's Vigil finding Louis, and that shows up for you down. That's quite a good pick because you don't have any sledge or buck on the board, and you saw that at the very beginning of the round that Louis had breaching charges. That's a lot of soft breach denial down, and there's another one onto Nexus, and there's some more breaching charges down. So soft breach is not gonna be an option. And, well, obviously a lot of utilities taken off the board as well with your IQ and your Zofia.
Oh! Josh Glitch, though, landing that flick onto Monster. What on earth was that? He's down to about 25 points of health, but it's down to a 2 versus 5 now. It's all left up to Scorpio and Pelican to see if they can make something work, and that Vigil has really been a thorn in their sides, as we've been talking about. 30 seconds. What? Going for the prone angle on the bottom of the yellow stance. Takes off the head off Pelican. Now Harris finishes the round off with the kill onto Scorpio. What a recovery by Pat's Asleep, and what a change up from the very first round. Minute 40 in to the first round, they'd already had one player die, top floor control conceded, and Regnant was starting to apply pressure onto the site. This time, minute 30 into the round, and none of that's happened. And then finally, Josh Glitch gets a kill onto Louis. The way that they changed up how they want to play that is spectacular, in my opinion.
Yeah, they adapted really well, and it was that roam that really paid off for them. Changing onto that vigil, I believe, worked so well because, well, you can't be spotted. But normally, I don't think if we saw this or not, I don't know if whether Nexus or Sky Nexus was doing this. But normally, you would see a drone going ahead of the IQ with the IQ on her scanner alongside one of your entry fraggers. So you'd normally see maybe Monster close to the drone with the IQ on her scanner, so she can call out the exact location of the vigil if the drone can't see it. I'm not sure if we saw that kind of coordination there. Maybe that's the issue. Obviously, they probably weren't expecting a vigil, as maybe they didn't see it in the prep phase. As you normally, at this level, just drone the site, see 1 or 2 operators, and then kind of work out who you're coming up against in the middle of the round.
Yeah, and the coordination that you're talking about, I think what might actually help Regnant out when they're going for these roam clears is at the moment they are just pushing through in unison 3 players at a time or 2 players at a time coming from the same direction, and they don't have anyone in a position to catch those roamers as they're rotating out. They don't have that sort of safety net to assist them. Potentially having the Nomad go over to the CEO windows at the start of the round while the rest of your team pushes in from admin could give you a couple of angles that might assist you in eliminating those roamers early on, as opposed to just trying to force them out of their positions. But we are moving now into round 4, and it's going to be a lobby defense, and lobby defenses are known for the amount of spawn peaks and picks that you get early on, but it doesn't look like that's been the case here.
You can see as well a doc on the board this time. Josh Glitch just rotating who he's playing, giving his teammate to go with the Jaeger. But you definitely do need an ACOG on this site. That could be a nice little run out here from users if Pelican isn't aware of it. He may get picked off when he goes onto those CEO repels. But this is what we're expecting, like a cut off from both repels. You can see Monster going on the admin repel and Pelican on the connector repel, and it is just splitting the defense so that they're stuck in certain positions. And that's what we didn't see the last few times they attacked the defense.
Yeah, and the way that Pats Asleep are playing this with a player all the way down in basement as well really just adds a level of diversity to how they are positioned. Makes it more difficult for Regnant to be sure that they've cleared everything out. The drones coming through, Harris taking down a couple of them, but just holding his position and holding a very nice angle inside of that projector area.
I'm a little bit confused about that mirror setup there. It looks like it's 2 mirrors next to each other. I'm not 100% sure. It looks like it actually was. We got a little sneak peek there. But okay, I've never seen anything like it. But obviously, they're at this level. I'm not. Talking about being at the level, Louis just in sight.
Yeah, found an entrance on in. No one watching that Z hallway, and he's deep inside the site already. He's got the bathroom control as well. Top floor control still in favor of the defenders. It could be a bit difficult, but Monster making it a little easier, taking down users on top of it. The push on in not going to happen. Dowie finishes off Louis, and Pelican gets taken down as well by Josh Glitch. Now 3 versus 3, make that 3 versus 2. Scorpio gets 1 before being downed immediately. Pat C4 misses, unable to land and secure the kill onto the Hibana. The favor is tied at the moment. No one really has an advantage. The attackers are going to be trying to get Scorpio, but Monster getting Pat with that beautiful headshot, and it's all left up to Dowie.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Yeah, chances of him winning this one are quite low. Just because of the situation he's in. Scorpio will probably most likely be revived, and then yeah, there you go. 3 versus 1 for the smoke, and that's a tough position to be in. Yeah, you're a smoke, you have a good primary and an insane secondary, really, but a 1 versus 3. 15 seconds left. He can down Monster, though, and that leaves it in a very winnable position because of the health Scorpio's on.
Oh! He hits it! Dowie wins it!
Dowie wins those. He wins. Okay, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. The secondary of the SMG-11. Oh my, what a shot. I didn't see that the first time because of my clean feed, but what a shot.
Oh my.
Wow. And I told you 15 seconds left with the SMG-11. That's a definitely winnable position. And he just hit his shots. Well played.
If you want any operator to be alive in that situation, it's gonna be the smoke. So little time left on the board. Even if he hadn't landed the shots, a smoke canister could have done the job for him, but absolutely no need. Dowie's insane at landing those final 3 kills. And that's just going to be a huge demoralizer if you're Regnant. What do you think the mindset of Regnant's team is going to be at the moment?
They're probably like a little bit disappointed. I'm not sure how it will affect them all personally, but I know if that was me, I'd be upset. I'd be like, how do we lose that to 1 versus 3? Come on, guys, we're throwing. Obviously, I'm not sure what they're going to be like. They might be completely different to me, but come on, guys, we're throwing. We could have easily taken that round, and we really should have been taking that round if you're Regnant. And yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see how they change it up, because the last time they attacked this site, did they actually win? No, they was very dominant on the side of Pats Asleep, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the only round that Regnant have been able to win was that initial downstairs attack. Yeah. Pats Asleep had quite a convincing win on this site last time they played it. It
yeah,
did
I'm
start
sure
off with Monster just rushing on into meeting them, so...
Yeah, we might see more of an admin hold here, as I would assume that Pats Asleep suddenly realised that that's where the attack came from. A spawn peek again from Pat. I'm surprised he isn't asleep. You know,
yeah, well, he's only sitting on 1 kill, so I don't think he's fully awake at the moment. So hopefully that'll change as the rest of the game progresses. But it looks more like they're setting up for a yellow stairs take at the moment. Everyone's spawned over on this northwest corner of the map. And this is, as you mentioned before, it's going to be quite difficult because they've got that Jaeger and they've got that Wamai. It's so much utility that you need to burn it just to gain that initial amount of control. Sky Nexus, though, taking down the Wamai is not going to be as useful now. No more gadgets for the rest of the round for him.
There you go. It was that run out that users prepped last time. Oh, I didn't believe it was him. It might have been Dowie, but he was definitely ready for it. And this time Sky Nexus was prepared and he shut it down very early on. And now if you want to do that run out, you're going to have to rotate someone away. And I doubt Pats Asleep are going to commit a body to that. I'm not sure what Pat's really doing here. I'm assuming he's just trying to make a hole so he can see onto the yellow rotate. But well played by him, and this double run out. Well played there by Josh Glitch and Harris. But Louis able to shut down at least one of them. But Harris gets back with his life.
Yeah, double run out just to take down the Nomad of Pelican Sam. Not entirely sure if that was completely worthwhile, but Harris on the rotation back up takes down 1, and the IQ doesn't just repel straight on into bathroom, so Harris needs to play around this position quite cautiously. He gets the Doc Stim as well. That's what that angle is being opened up for, to give that Doc a little bit more line of sight over towards the top of yellow. Now, 3 versus 3, the push still needs to properly formulate itself from Regnant. There's about 1:05 left on the clock, and they've dedicated to this yellow stairs take, but they've not actually found a decent foothold inside of the map.
Yeah, seems like they're just kind of stalling out here. Seems like Regnant aren't really sure what to do. As you can see, they've split up onto the 2 windows, the bathroom window and the CEO repel. But at this moment in time, that's not what you need.
Yeah, Harris getting another one onto Sky Nexus, who just goes rushing him through Z, maybe trying to catch him off in that location, but that's not going to happen. The smoke nade's forcing Louis off that window for yet another time. Harris, he's just swinging on everything. He doesn't care. He's swinging on a prayer.
Yeah, he will peek you. If you're there, he will shoot you. But oh, he really
going
just...
for it again.
I played to Louis shutting him down, but then Dowie shuts down Louis in return. And there's Dowie with another one onto Scorpio. You're not beating that. Well played by Dowie and well played by Pat to Sleep. I'm going to mention it because I've kept track of it. The attackers haven't changed their lineup once, and it clearly isn't working.
Yeah, it did give him that initial round, but it's not really worked out for them since. I mean, Dowie and Harris just been playing exceptionally well. Josh Glitch as well on the roam has been doing a good job, but Dowie's definitely been the standout player, at least for the previous round where he got that 3v1 clutch.
Yeah.
It's the final round of the defense, going back downstairs. It's the only round that Regnant were able to win. Regnant really need to take this one.
Yeah, if Regnant don't win this round, they're in a very, very sticky situation. I would say that Conscience probably more defender-sided, to be fair to Regnant. If it's going to go anyway, it's going to be defender-sided. But you definitely should not only be winning one, you should probably be winning at least two. So they're in a very sticky situation where they've got their attacker lineup set up, and it just isn't working out, and we're not sure whether it's down to the attacker lineup, or whether it's just down to the coordination, the pushes that are not working. And I'm not sure what's going on. That's down for them to find out, but it just doesn't seem like much is working out for them right now.
Yeah, just Pats Asleep have been able to play around this attack strategy that's come out from Regnant each time, and they've not really struggled to do it either. It's not like it's been a massive challenge for them to get into these positions. They've just been playing a rather basic strategy. They're not doing anything too crazy aside from these initial spawn peaks. You know, that's probably the third one we've seen, and he's able to land a little bit of damage on, but not enough to get a kill. And just another jump out. Pat outside until he gets detected, waiting to see if he can land any damage with the TCSG, but it's not going to happen. Josh Glitch loses 50 health shooting through that main door. This is just such an excessively aggressive hold of this middle floor by Pat Asleep.
Maybe that's something that they've read into their opponents, maybe read into Regnant and thought, well, they're very slow, so if we get aggressive on them, they're going to become even slower, and then we win the round late round. And you can see that how that kind of worked out in the round that Dowie clutched on the smoke. They didn't have much time in those 15 seconds, and he was able to just find all 3 picks. Yes, obviously, it came down to a lot of great gun skill, but the time really helped him out in that situation because of this aggressive play, and it does seem like it's working out for Pat Asleep. So why change it, right? If it's not broken, why fix it?
Yeah, precisely. But now they're already all back on site. This is such a fluid hold coming out by them. Josh Glitch is playing around the top of the spiral, trying to take the fight onto the player on the windows. Harris, who was in sight just seconds ago, is now back on the top floor, top of yellow, to assist. This is going to be so difficult if you're Regnant to properly understand where people are playing from, but that doesn't matter. The 2 kills come through, the 2 roamers are gone, with a minute 30 still for Regnant to work with. It's going to be difficult to hold if you're Pat Asleep, but we've seen it happen. As long as Dowie's alive, I believe in the clutch.
Yeah, that clutch factor is definitely there. Like you said, as long as Dowie's alive, so is the clutch. That C4 could come out. And you would expect someone to look for it, and the C4, there you go. I told you, mate. The C4, the aggressiveness from Pat Asleep, that wasn't so much aggressive, that was just clever play, but well played. Obviously a call out from the Kaid. This round's definitely still winnable for Regnant though, as Monster finds one onto Yuzus, and well, it's up to Dowie and Pat to clutch. Dowie'd have to find another kill. Obviously he only has 1 so far, I believe. He'd have to try and find at least 1 more to try and help Dowie out.
Yeah, and 40 seconds to go. They do have a little bit of a hole opened into the breach, and top floor control is most definitely in their hands. This push is being awfully split. All 3 of the attackers are in different locations. Ash pushing down the backside of the site. And it looks like the pressure over towards Garage has actually been conceded for Regnant, and they're just going to go for this backside take. Oh, Pat missing the shot initially. Goes for the punch hole peek and is able to down the Ash, not finishing her off. But the push through the security hallway. Oh, Pat gets eliminated and finished off, but Dowie's still alive. And he wins it again!
No!
He wins it again!
Dowie, you're actually insane, my friend. You're so good at the clutch situations. What a shot as well. Holy shot. Dowie, you are insane. How, Regnant, though? You've got to look at Regnant and see how do you allow that to happen.
It's... Dowie is sitting on 11-1 at the moment, and he's been in 2 1 versus 3 clutches. Granted, the last one was technically a 1 versus 2 as the Ash was already down, but what is happening today, Dowie? Whatever he had to eat this morning for breakfast, he's got to keep doing it for every Playday, because I want to see this happen every single time he logs onto the server.
He's had his Weetabix, mate. That's what it is.
Oh, most definitely.
He's had his Weetabix. He's had his fiber. But we'll have to see if Regnant can try and turn this game around, or at least this map. In this second half, we switch sides, so Pat Asleep go onto the attack, and Regnant go onto the defense. So it's definitely still in contention for Regnant to bring this one back, we should also mention, just because they're on defense now. This map is defender-sided. We've seen Regnant have a few close rounds, like we said, 2 1v3 clutches, so you could have said that side could have easily went 3-3, but because of Dowie's insane plays, it didn't. He's only got 1 death so far. How?
Yeah. He's just been playing it out of his mind this game. Regnant, with the switch of harms, is also going to go for a big switch up on the sites, showing us our first Teller's security hold that we've seen today. And the first of this league, as this is actually the very first time that we're seeing Consulate in general in ACS. So, this has been quite an interesting game. And already the amount of control that Pats Asleep are trying to exert onto Visa itself. They're not going to go for that admin clear initially. They all look poised and ready to just jump into Visa.
Please let this be a rush. It looks like it could be, not gonna lie, like 2 hot breaches either. Yeah, there you go. There's your hot breaches in synchronized.
Messed it up though.
No, Josh. There you go. And they're in sight. And there's no pulse on the board, so these C4s are going to have to be placed off sound. And well, Josh can just get in and plant.
No pre-placed holes on the floor either. They're just gonna have almost no idea that this is happening. Drops, deals a little bit of damage, but gets immediately eliminated. Now 5 versus 4. The retake needs to come through for Regnant if they want to have a chance. The prone play not gonna work out. Josh Glitch able to kill off Louis. Pat gets 1 as well, and now 5 versus 2. Jaeger finally gets 1 upstairs, but now he is the only one left alive. 2 very low HP players on the side of Pat's Sleepy Downs. Finally finishes off the IQ, actually. So he's still got the 2 low HP players to deal with and Harris, but with only 15 seconds left to go, this is most definitely around for Pat's Sleep, and yeah, that's it. What is happening? Regnant going for the offside to throw off the play by Pat's Asleep, but that just doesn't even matter.
Yeah, Pat's Asleep just being well, not over aggressive because it's working out for them. It's not over aggressive if it works out. In my opinion, I think that the fact that they've read into it is quite well. You can't just say that they've just decided to rush. They've obviously read into what's going on, and they've decided that that was the play. Well, that was the play, was just to rush, and it worked out for them. Well played to them for reading into it. And they're Regnant. I think if you're going to play that site, they're going to go there again. They're not going to bring out the pulse that you would expect to see on this site, and if you want to deny that plant, you're going to need a pulse. It didn't seem like Pat's Asleep were aware of any C4 as Josh Glitch planted on a soft floor. Bring out a pulse, you deny that early plant, which means you can win that retake. I feel like there's just a few simple things being missed here by Regnant. Whether they need this alibi, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, the alibi is a very interesting pick. Not someone we see too often. I was going to say, if Louis had brought out the Bailiff shotgun pistol to open up a couple of these holes in the floor, or perhaps if Scorpio were to use that super shorty to create some angles, but they're just leaving the entirety of the teller's floor soft. It's so difficult to predict where the plant is going through if you have no sound cues to work off of. Now, Regnant, I think they might have played this a bit too much, and so they've worked 3 steps ahead, missing something 2 steps behind them. And that's why we were able to see that rush come through from Pat's Asleep just there. And I want to see if we're going to see it again. Everyone on Pat's Asleep has breached charges.
We could see something similar. Looks like a yellow rush this time. Looks like Louis was ready for it. He's not able to hit his shots. He has a few shots onto Pat, but not enough to kill, and it only hits 1 shed. And they're ready in garage. As you can see, they're all rushing through now. It looks like a very aggressive take.
Yeah, immediately trying to clear out this mirror. She is going to be protected. Oh, this is the dock on the mirror. The pistol not coming through for Dowie, but the P90 for Pelican going to work to great effect. The Ash is inside, and they're just pistol rushing at this point. Oh! Use this! What are you doing? The kill's coming back, but it's 3 versus 2 still. 6-1 in the scoreline. The diffuser is down at the bottom of those lower Visa stairs close to the kitchen door. That's going to need to be recovered. And Jaeger of Monster's going to try his best to hold it. The pistol. Uses. You're killing me, man. Just win the round at this rate. Ara's going to finish off Monster now. 1 versus 3. They have the diffuser. And it's all left up to Louis upstairs by himself. Pistol not working out that time for users. Their confidence is something to be admired.
It looks like they're having a lot of fun with this game, and why not? You know, if you're gonna win it, Owen, Louis easily clutch this 1 versus 3 here because of the negligence of trying to win the round by pat to sleep. Louis isn't going to be aware of Harris's position. He's going to shut him down, and they're going to take the first map 7-1.
Yeah, a very dominant performance on Consulate, and that's just that was a really impressive, just across the board. The confidence that they had going into that final round as well. Yes, you are 6-1 up, but generally you want to still try your best to secure the victory in the proper way. Going for those pistol plays, working out for them. 10 and 4 for Harris, 11 and 3 for Dowie. Louis being the best player on the side of Regnant, going 8 and 7. Just Pats Asleep really standing heads and shoulders above Regnant in that match.
Yeah, they put up a great showing, and well, they just showed their individual skills in that match, as it didn't really come down to too much strategy, especially on the attack side. Yeah, they didn't show too much strategy, but it doesn't really matter if you can win your gunfights, and especially with a pistol. Obviously, we saw yours with a nice little 2-piece, a wall bang onto the dock, and then one onto the guy just pushing below those Visa kitchen stairs. But that would just conclude our map 1. We're going to go to a short break, a short 5-minute break. And we'll hope to see you all in the next one with Regnant and Pat to Sleep on, I believe it's Clubhouse.
Yeah, they're going to be battling out on Clubhouse, a much more typical map to see. It's something that we've seen a lot more, and it's kind of becoming the new standard go-to map. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of a closer game. Pat's Asleep maybe not running away with it quite so much, but as you mentioned, we are going to go to that break, so we'll be back very shortly. Please don't go anywhere, as we want to see the conclusion of this week's ACS Championship Series. Welcome back, everyone. We've got the second game of Regnant versus Pats Asleep coming up. We just saw them battle it out on Consulate, which is a very dominant win for Pats Asleep. And we're moving on over to Clubhouse. My name is Dino, and I'm joined this evening by my co-host CD. Now, what do you want to say about that last game, man?
Well, Consulate is an aggressive map, obviously, but that was very aggressive as we saw two rushes consecutively work out for Pat to sleep. But if it works, like I said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And it's like it worked out for them, and they did their roles really, really well. Regnant should have taken 2 rounds. Obviously, we saw 2 insane clutches by Dowie. He's just doing Dowie things, and yeah, now we're going over to a Clubhouse. We should be seeing probably a more strategic kind of match. I believe. Obviously, what do you think? I believe it should be more strategic.
Yeah, looking at the way that the side picks went, I do believe that Pats Asleep got to pick sides on Consulate, picking the defense, which means that this Clubhouse map is actually going to be Pats Asleep's map pick, which is quite a scary thought, seeing how dominant they were on Consulate. It might be just exactly the same right there, and oh, looks like we've had a little bit of an issue with the side, so we are going to have a quick rehost as we get that sorted on out. But meanwhile, elsewhere, the Lucendi versus Envic game has been going on.
Yeah, that's been going on in the background, and yeah, that one obviously. I'm just leading up my notes here. So apparently it was a 7-2. That's a pretty good scoreline for Lucendi. I'm not sure where that puts them in the standings. I'll have a quick look.
Yeah,
Very
I do
quick.
believe Lucendi won the first map on Clubhouse, starting off on attack 7-2, and now they're going to be moving on over to Consulate. The same maps we're seeing here, but of course that game is happening off stream. Quite a dominant win for Lucendi, especially seeing as they started off on attack on what is a very defender-sided map. Are they going to be able to keep it up? That is something we will have to find out later, as yet again, this game unfortunately is not being streamed. But this game that we are seeing now between Regnant and Pat Sleep is. So, Clubhouse, we're moving into it. It's a much more standard map. It's something that we've seen a lot more frequently. How do you see this one playing out?
I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not sure 100% on how it's gonna play out, but I would expect that it'd be a little bit closer because you could say that Pat to Sleep won a few of their rounds down to their pure aggression, and aggression isn't the name of the game on Clubhouse. The name of the game is to just kind of sit back and wait and play down the time. So whether that plays into Regnant hands or not, that's completely different. That's something that we see. We could see Regnant take this map because of the way that they play.
Yeah, but Clubhouse is a map that is considered to be quite defender-sided, but the operator bans can really shake that up and change it to be a much more attacker-sided map. How do you see the operator bans coming out on this? Are we going to see a Thermite Thatcher or a Maverick? We did see Ying and Capital get banned out on Consulate, so
Yeah, I would expect at least one Harbeater to be banned, whether it's a Habana, which is probably less common than the Thermite or the Maverick. Maverick being pretty much a common ban for this map, just because of how strong it is. Just opening up that CCTV wall, it cuts off that position so easily, and there's not much the defenders can do about it. And it looks like we are just going to be going into the ban phase here, and it seems like we have got the sides correct this time. So let's get into Clubhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, Regnant versus Pat to Sleep. Regnant defend first.
yeah, defending first means you get the very first operator ban. Regnant probably going to want to eliminate something like a Thermite Thatcher or a Maverick, as you mentioned, to give them a bit more flexibility to be able to play around. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if we saw a Capital ban come out just because of how strong Capital can be on this map in general. But no, it's going to be the Maverick. So are we going to see the Ying get left up on the board, or is that hard breach utility going to be whittled down quite a bit? As we all know, Ying is very strong in the current meta and is most definitely a balanced operator to try and play against for the time being.
Completely balanced, no balancing issues there, and she's actually been left up.
Oh.
This is the first time, at least today, obviously because I've done I did the match before, and I know that she didn't get played because she got banned on both maps. So she's in play here. So this map, like we were saying, is defender sided, but with a Ying on the board and the state that she's in right now, this has become kind of equal, maybe even attacker sided, just because of the amount of work that Ying can do. As she's had an LMG buff, and she has 4 candelas and 2 smokes. She can burn out 1 ADS with her secondary gadget, and you could say that's what most operators do. But then she still has 4 candelas to use.
Yeah, a Jaeger ban here would just be absolutely horrendous, but I don't think we will be seeing that, as that would just shoot Regnant in the foot. No, going to be a standard mirror echo to finish it all off. But yeah, that Ying, it's going to be something really to try and overcome, especially if you're Regnant starting out on this defense and starting out knowing that you just got absolutely demolished on the last map of Consulate. And when there's still Thermite, Thatcher, Hibana left up on the board, it's going to make defending so difficult. We are seeing Sky Nexus go into the Warden, hopefully to mitigate some of that effect the Ying may have if they elect to bring her along.
And it's sad that we've actually seen an increase. Oh, no, Nexus picks off of it.
No.
Yuzu, stick the Ying. I think he was going to pick off it, just didn't have time to, or he was changing his weapon or skin or something. Most likely just changing his skin. I do that all the time. But Nexus, you've not done a great job there. Then I guess obviously you're kind of reading into your opponents. You're trying to think, what can we do? And well, what we saw is, I've definitely seen this a few times, is where you kitchen hatch, you Ying off everything, you smoke off everything. You still have 6 flashbangs, regular flashbangs. As well. So what do you have? 6, 12, 18, 24 flashbang in the side of Pat to sleep. So you can just honestly just drop that kitchen hatch if you flash it out enough. Let your Ying go first, and then yeah, that should be an easy take. Especially with this this very vertical hold coming up as well from Regnant. It seems like it's very much an opening for Pat to sleep, and we know that they're a very aggressive team, so we could see something along those lines. That'd be very good to watch.
Regnant haven't bought a Jaeger or a my.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh. Oh, and they get the opening kill. The Ying announces her presence and eliminates Monster. The aggressive player, most definitely for Regnant, and this is just an aggressive play coming in general, ignoring the entire top floor hold, and they're just going to push on down main stairs. The right angle's not being held. A team kill coming on through. Pat getting taken down. That's only the Ash gone, but Josh Glitch being a little too trigger happy. Sky Nexus is also down to about 10 HP, and main stairs control in favor of Pat to sleep. Harris gets 1. The trade's coming back and forth. No candelas have actually been used yet. It's just been a straight frag fest, and now it's all left up to Scorpio. 1 versus 2. What on earth has just happened? C4 comes out, not able to land. Harris finishes it off. Oh no, it was users finishing it off from the bottom of the main stairs. I mean, I guess when you're Pat to sleep, you don't even need a candela to go for an incredible Ying rush.
I was just about to say, I guess you don't even need candles if you can just click heads. You know what I mean? Like I said, there you go. Like, you would expect normally on Clubhouse a more passive kind of take to things, but honestly, it doesn't work when the Ying's on the board. The Ying on the board has given Pat to sleep that little entry into rushes that they needed, and now they've got it. You can expect them to rush. I would say probably about 5 rounds out of the 6 that they will attack.
Yeah, and the switching from the Thermite over to the Buck, and again from the Warden over to the Valk, at least this time they've brought a Jaeger, so it might make that rushing a little bit more difficult. But this is... It looks like Pat to Sleep are just very effectively droning out a line of attack into the site. You know, they know that dirt isn't going to be held properly. They're going to throw a couple of goo mines down, barricade off the door, and leave it. So you can take that control very early on. Then, with the players on the top floor, and they don't have any extension over towards strip or properly having someone play inside of the bar, it just gives you that rush all the way down the main stairs. And if you're Regnant, you're not collapsing fast enough to really resolve that. And that was what we saw in the very first round, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happen a lot until Regnant makes a big change.
5 seconds to insertion.
I feel like Regnant they're playing their strategies correctly, right? They're holding the correct positions. But if a team just rushes constantly, you've got to adapt to that. You could see Scorpio had the little vertical holes all the way from inside of construction, I believe, logistics, and then through logistics wall and everything to deny that main stairs push, but it just didn't work out. And here's the blue side push this time, and I believe it's a dirt push as well. And I'm
Yeah.
not sure whether the defenders are aware of it.
I don't think they even reinforced the dirt tunnel. Harris seems to be very close down that tunnel already. And oh no, first kill going Josh Glitch, not a team kill this time. And he sees one playing backside of Armory. He swings on through, spies the player back of Church, is able to take him down. One kill from Louis coming out, that's the castle. But the plant is not quite going down. Pat is inside of the site with the diffuser, not getting it down for the time being. Kills back and forth once again. And yet again, it's all left up to Scorpio in a 1 versus 3 with 2 minutes left on the clock. And it's all over. Less than a minute and the round is already done. Pat's asleep, just playing with their food at the moment. Oh, what are we watching?
Yeah, they're like, it feels like Pat's asleep either are just winning their gunfights, or they're just having insane days. Maybe they played a warm-up scrim before this and they were like, right, we're hitting our shots, we're rushing every round. And obviously it works, and it feels like Regnant are playing a little bit too passive because what are they called? I can't remember the name. Pat's asleep are reading into this passive play and they're just rushing, and it seems like they're not learning. You see, I can't remember who it was actually on the Legion. I mean, it might have been Pelican, but he was just sat inside of Church, and they've rushed, in theory, 3 rounds in a row because they rushed the last 2 rounds of Consulate. And you haven't learned. You're not holding your correct angles. You've got to expect the rush. You've got to be able to deny that push. And they're just not doing it.
Yeah, I think part of it, I did mention this previously, but I think part of it is that Regnant have this whole strategy, and the strategy may work if Pants Asleep try and counter it. But what Pants Asleep are doing is they're just looking at it and going, well, you're focusing on us trying to attack the top floor and then falling down progressively, so we'll just rush on in. And we saw it on Consulate as well. You're focusing on us trying to eliminate your players out of these positions, so we'll just rush on in yet again and go for the plant inside of Tellers, and then we'll do it differently the round after. Gym Bedroom is a site that's very difficult to rush, though, as it is just entirely anchor based. Everyone just sits on the site itself, basically. A little bit of extension over towards Cash. So this is the momentum shifting opportunity that Regnant need to be able to give themselves a little bit of foothold in this map and give themselves the right mindset moving forwards.
Yeah, and it seems like I've said it before, the Regnant just, I think, need to just get aggressive back. Take the fight to Pat's Asleep, scare them a little bit. And, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's just like... There you go, a good early pick from Louis, though, onto the rush. But Pelican's going to be taken out as well. But at least you're kind of shutting down this rush. And here you go, Monster, with another one. This aggressive play is really, really working out for Regnant.
Yeah, the play's working out now for Regnant because this is, as I mentioned before, a site where you sit on it, you sit close, you have someone playing on the jacuzzi wall, you have someone playing inside a bedroom. So to actually rush it is quite a difficult strategy, and we are seeing Regnant getting a foothold in this game. 4 versus 2, I don't want to assign them fully out of this round yet. Pants Asleep. Dowie is gone off the board, so that's some of the clutch factor gone already, but diffuser in hand and a lot of time left to work with. Okay, maybe not. Monster finishing off Josh Glitch as he goes for a change in push, and now it's just Pat sitting on the roof. Wouldn't be surprised if he sits here for basically the remainder of the round and just has a little talk with his team going, right, so we can't rush Gym Bedroom. Are we actually going to need to come up with a proper strategy moving forwards?
Yeah, and he's probably just going to sit here and just look. Okay, my clean feed is paused. Pog. But yeah, it looks like he's just going to sit. He's literally going to sit on the string. Give us a little nice feed. Just smokes their body. It's a lovely touch to the interior design. Whoever put that there, wow, you're an interior design genius.
Yeah, I quite like the open floor plan that they're going for with busting on through into construction. Pat's not admiring the interior decor quite as much as we are. He does drop down. players are rotating. He fires some shots off, they know precisely where he is, but he's just trying to bait out kills at this moment. Regnant are most definitely not wanting to give it to him. They're all just holding their angles with Monster doing a little bit of pre-fire. This is...
15 seconds remaining.
I just want them to peek into Pat at the moment. See how quick his reaction time and if he's properly woken up yet.
Seems like Pat's definitely most not woken up. Yeah, he kind of loses that, but that is it. That is well played to Regnant, right? Let's not take anything away from Regnant. They played it right, that one. They got more aggressive. They did their roles. They got their frags. They played it well. And now they've got to go to this CCTV and cache site. I'm gonna make a prediction, right?
Oh yeah.
Harris opens up the wall. Right? The Ying, they rush. Or they just all rush in through the CCTV window. It could work. Or construction. Or they could actually try and do some kind of strategy, which may work out for them.
What do you mean? This
But
is Pat to sleep. Strategy isn't the name of the game.
True. Thing is, they've got to show me up before the map. I was like, yeah, strategy. Not aggressive plays, and then they just go aggressive and they win 2 rounds in a row.
Attackers need to
Whilst being
locate
aggressive. They have rushed now
bombs as they can.
5 rounds in a row. If you count consulate.
Yeah, that's... Oh. The mindset of Regnant has just got to be completely dejected for the moment. They won the last round by, as you say, countering that aggression, by taking some of the fights themselves, and by actually sitting within the site and anchoring properly without too much of an extended roam. This, yet again, is a site where you can kind of do that again. You can sit quite a lot of people inside of that cache and CCTV area. Don't need anyone downstairs. The most extension you really need is into construction and into garage. But once they open up that breach, as you mentioned, I'm fully expecting flashbangs to come through, smokes to pop up, and just a Ying Candela rush on into the site.
Yeah, the thing is, if Pat's Asleep can win 1 or 2 more rounds, which is very likely, seeing as Regnant, even if they win this site, they will most likely to the Church Arsenal bomb size. You do not want to even try bar stock, and especially against a team like Pat's Asleep. And it does look like they're trying to get the wall. Looks like they're struggling slightly though, because the Thatcher's just not there. But looks like Scorpio, is he going to get back in time? Scorpio might have to absolutely sprint. He's going to get there. The thermocharge is going to go in the middle, and so is the Bandit. The Bandit's just going to get the thermocharge really well. He sprint across the room. You may see Ying on CCTV window just out of the corner of your eye. That is definitely an opening that users may be able to counter off.
Yeah, but Dowie's now out of his concussion mine, so it's going to be quite difficult to force Scorpio off of this bandit trick. They're going to need to take some downstairs control, impact up, to then force the bandit out of his position so he can't go for that trick and potentially take away a lot of his HP. Users sitting, as you mentioned, over towards this B window means that if they do go for a rush, it's going to be a split rush with the push coming in from both directions. And Harris once again going for the wall. Thatcher charge comes out. EMP. Oh, the bandit wire is placed on the wrong wall. They're actually in. Harris just rushes in straight away. Completely just dry. No flashbangs, no smokes, anything. Sky trades him out. But the push on into the side, the Candela's pop off. The kill for user. Scorpio gets one more onto Josh Glitch. The diffuser's down at the top of the red stairs. Monster gets one playing as the Jaeger down the bottom of the stairs. And now 2 versus 3. Regnant have another good chance to win this round out. As Pat's Asleep still need to recover the diffuser, get back into the site, and go for the plant. There might be a C4 available on Scorpio as well, which could really throw a spanner in the works, but he's playing over by bedroom and not towards the downstairs. The push from the defenders back onto the site looks like it's coming in through garage, and Pat has given up that initial angle he was holding over there and uses just waiting for Scorpio to come back in through construction, but he looks away. Oh, it's Monster over in construction. He looks away at just the wrong time, and Usus is going for the plant. Pat holding the cross, and he gets one. The second pushing on through it, Scorpio, and he gets taken down as well, and it's all left up now to Monster. He was in construction, but he's dropped down. He's coming back up the red stairs, safe from Pat's initial crosshair, and he's able to land the kill onto the Ying. Pat's down to very, very low HP, but the wall in front is soft. There may not be a drone on the diffuser, but Pat is being spotted out as he's trying to find an angle onto the site. 25 seconds still left to defuse the bomb. Monster full HP, swinging on through, but Pat's holding the right angle. And with the AR is able to finish him off. Yet another rush successful for Pat to sleep. And oh my, what an explosive round. As soon as they got that wall open, Harris was just in there.
Yeah, I really don't know what to say. Apart from well played to Pat to sleep, I guess. And I don't know what to say, man. It's so confusing because this is like nothing we've ever seen before. I'm gonna lie, I've never casted a game this aggressive from one team. Regnant got very close to winning that one out, but yeah, it's just like Regnant just aren't allowed to do what they like. They're not allowed to bandit trick. They're getting Zofia stump and below. That's a common thing. But as soon as they're in, there's no rotates. Well played from the cover from Pat, by the way. But really, Pat to sleep, you've got to be like... Sorry, Regnant, you've got to be kicking yourself. Because that was a 3 versus 2. You've got to be winning that round. You've got to expect someone on the breach. Louis and Scorpio should have double peeked the breach. At least get one of them. And then it's a 2 versus 1 with Monster inside the construction.
Yeah, Pelican was... When the initial rush happened with Harris running through the breach, he was just concerned about what was going down bottom of red. Now, the Zofia had just breached the floor underneath where Scorpio was bandit tricking, so you do need to be concerned about someone pushing up those stairs. But if you place barbed wire close to the bottom of those stairs, you don't need to worry about that. You should have someone in lower garage as well, able to assist if that rush does come through, so you can focus on seeing if anyone crosses in through the breach. Harris didn't have his gun up. Harris didn't even know that there was someone at the top of those red stairs until he was already swinging around to peek into catch. That would have been wholly different if the smoke had been able to survive that initial push and deal impact into the rest of the round.
We've just had a little quick update that Lucendi 7-0'd Emvik on Consulate.
Lucendi starting out on attack on Clubhouse win 7-2, and then they go on to win 7-0 against Emvik on Consulate. What?
Just gonna check the standings. Yeah, that will put them top as they'll go on to the same amount of points as Budapest 5. No, they won't. They'll actually go on to 12 points. They're top by 3 points now, and I don't think there's anybody that can catch them, as that is the last game of the Playday. So yeah, unless Pat Asleep take this one.
20 round DMR pre-fire, able to get one from Josh. Pat, meanwhile, getting another onto Monster. That was the player who ran out of strip trying to get a pick onto someone over by this B window. And 5 players stacked up towards the construction area. Now Scorpio not able to make anything work. And this is just, yet again, another difficult situation. A lot of damage being dealt onto Pelican. Not entirely sure where that was from. But the push has stalled. And Pat Sleep do need to cross the very predictable angles, but Josh gonna take down the Pelican. That's a smoke gone, and your entry denial as a defender eliminated. The pistol peek comes on through from Dowie, and it's all left up to Louis in a 1 versus 5. He's able to get the first inside of Garage, and he cannot rotate on up. He's trying to find this player on the rafters. It's not gonna happen. Ying with the pistol. This is just gotta be so demoralizing if you're Regnant. Oh.
If you're Regnant, oh my god, users, that's insane, but...
Treating it like it's T-Hunt.
Yeah. Pads Asleep have now taken 4 rounds on attack, and it looks like we could be going back to Gym Bedroom, which is a site that Regnant won, but I'm sure that Pads Asleep can definitely win it if they do it a different way, and this time they've brought out the Montaigne. Oh, look at that lineup. Oh no. I see where this is going. Do you see where this is going? I think I see a Ying Monty rush.
Ying Monty with Blackbeard standing behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be fun. We are seeing the Jaeger and Wabai come out yet again, so might make a little bit of a difference, but I'm not wanting to put too much in favor of Regnant. This is the one round that they were able to win before, the one site they were able to win before, so if they've got an opportunity to do it, now's the time.
Yeah, Regnant on the defense. I've got to try and at least get another round.
Yeah, it would be a very difficult attacking side for them if they weren't able to secure a round here. Although it is, judging by these bans and the way that the map has gone so far, quite an attacker-favored, map or operator ban setup. Oh, geez, I am struggling at the moment, but hopefully, Regnant will be able to counter this and prevent a almost clean sweep of an attacking half.
Yeah, I can imagine this isn't too fun to play against if you're Regnant. I'm sure this is a lot of fun for Pat to sleep as well. And it's just like, why give away your life, Sky Nexus? You don't need to do that. Monster does find one. He has a shield at the top of red stairs, but the shield isn't giving him that much cover. And now the Montaigne's going to push him. He's going to have to pull down the shield to get through the rotate hole, but that's not going to matter because you have people behind him. And now Monster's stuck inside of Cash. And you already know that there's going to be a little Yin Candela rush if she gets there in time. There you go.
Precisely as you say it, the Candela comes through, but no one's there to finish him off. Going to be able to play in his position for a little bit longer. Monster rushes on up and is actually able to take down the Monty, but is immediately traded out by Josh. But that is a key part of this push gone already. That's the Monty eliminated. Pushing on forward is going to be very difficult. The Blackbeard on the window is not going to be able to do anything as Scorpio with the Org of Wamai takes down Josh Glitch. That's the Twitch gone. Now, 2 versus 3. 1 versus 3 now as Louis takes down Dowie. All left up to the Blackbeard. He doesn't have the diffuser in hand and he's got a minute 30 to go. And this seems awfully reminiscent of the last time we saw Regnant play this site. Pat left up alive with it all to do.
Oh, and then Scorpio getting a little bit, just firing a few shots to scare them. And I think Pat's going to struggle to win this one out, especially if he's asleep as well. So
yeah, but anything's possible. He's still got a minute to work with. He doesn't have the diffuser in hand. He does have the AR of Blackbeard, so he'll be able to deal quite a bit of damage quite quickly if he's able to land his shots. He's up to 5 kills already in the game, so we know he can hit something, but this is going to be a real test of his skill. If he chooses to even go for the clutch, he might just choose to, once again, let this round run out and rely on the defense of Pat's Sleep to finish off the second half. Oh. Not able to actually land the shots on Scorpio, but gives up his position in doing so. The smoke nade is going to take him down to 25 points of health. And yeah, Scorpio finally able to finish him off, and that is 2 rounds now for Regnant, both defending the gym bedroom, which is generally considered to be the off-site on this map.
if you look at it this way, it's probably easier to attack against a more aggressive team than it is to defend. So the way that Pat Asleep are playing it, this map is probably more attacker-sided. But then you go and look, and now Regnant are going to have to similar to try and bring out a similar product. So Regnant are in a sticky situation of today trying to play not as aggressive as Pat Asleep, because I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. But like a little small aggressive peak where you're just too over aggressive, and there's no Jaeger on the board. 4 Pat Asleep positioning could work.
No Jaeger, and they switched out the Wamai to a ward, and it's going to be all up to users to see through the Candelas brought out by the Ying. It's going to be difficult for them. It's gonna, just because of how strong Ying is, but Regnant still do have their own mindset to try and counter at this point. There's no way that they're going to be feeling good coming into this half. They've got to find some way to switch up the momentum and put things into their favor.
Yeah, and whether it's that Ying, obviously we saw her ban every single map of today. Whether it's that Ying, that's the difference for Regnant, because we didn't see her on Consulate. We'll have to just wait and see, but I feel like whenever the Ying isn't banned, she's going to be used. It's similar to like a Mirror, or maybe not Mirror, because Mirror doesn't get that much used if she isn't banned. But I would say like an Echo, if he isn't banned, you would most of that say about 90% of the time see him get played.
Yeah, The Valcam's outside suggests that Dowie wants to go for yet another aggressive play, but these Hibana holes, they're not going to force him out of his position. He's just going to sit there and hold it, and User's actually able to take down the Hibana almost immediately. The MPX of the Warden on the spawn peak ringing true and taking down the Hibana. So a lot of emphasis is going to be placed on this Thermite to be able to open up that breach with no assistance coming out from the Skyros pellets. And they still have to deal with Dowie in the downstairs garage. They've not forced him out of his position just yet. So Dowie can deal a lot of damage from here. There's only a mute jammer on the wall, so it should be a little bit easier. Louis, meanwhile, getting the kill onto Dowie downstairs. And that's him finally dealt with. And the breach has been resolved. It's looking like a good start for Regnant.
Well, it's definitely a little bit better than their defenses, and they've actually got a lot of ground that they can try and work with now. As you can see, the breach is open there, so it's definitely a lot better on the attack than it is for than it was on the defense. At least they're not all dead within 30 seconds. You know what I mean? And they're at least trying to put some kind of effort into winning this out. We might see this Maestro get taken out by Louis on the wallbang or something. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. But there you go, there's the Warden. I'm not sure whether that smoke was a bait. Talking about the Maestro getting a few kills. Josh Glitch finding one onto the rappel, and then Louis will shut him down on the refrag. So it's all left down to Pat and Harris, the two SMG-11s to clutch this one out against Pelican. And Louis, the Ying, is going to play a big part in this 2 versus 2.
Yeah, Ying, I think, only has one Candela left up. The C4 comes out prematurely and is actually caught by the EMP of Pelican, just trying to clear out some of that utility. Oh no, Louis still has 3 Candelas left and a smoke to go. One smoke gets thrown out deep. Candela goes through, but he gets taken down. Pat, holding the angle, lands the headshot onto Louis. Spray's coming through. Pelican has a diffuser inside, but gets taken out by Pat, boosted up on top of the boxes. Doesn't matter if you can flash the whole room if you can't follow up with a gun afterwards. Great peeks by Pat to win out that round there, and that was quite a convincing looking start for Regnant as well.
By the way, he shot that Candela.
What?
Like as he shot
Yeah, because it didn't pop.
Yeah, as he shot the
detonate.
Ying. As he shot the Ying, he also shot the Candela. And that's what people don't realize is that you can shoot Candelas. Obviously, it's risky because you have to expose yourself to so many angles to shoot a Candela. That's probably going to come from a very high traffic area.
Pat is just, he woke up. Most definitely. Dowie, however, has gone back to sleep, sitting only on 1 kill through 7 rounds, but he is playing a bit more of a... He's not been needed as much. He did see most of his kills on Consulate coming through on the defending half with a lot of clutches, but he's not been put in that position yet so far. Now, a downstairs hold. Are we going to see the same kind of rush that we were seeing from Pat to Sleep come through from Regnant? Or how do we see them playing this execute?
I'm not sure how Regnant are going to take it. Some sort of map control. It seems like that's what they're kind of doing. So I don't know.
Yeah, I would expect to see Regnant, who they've been setting up for these whole map strategies with people playing on the top floor, which then has just been entirely ignored by Pat Slick, so we've not actually seen that come through. I would expect to probably see Regnant go for that same sort of take, that logical, let's clear from the top down all the way through, like we saw on Consulate. They did go every single round for that admin clear all the way down to the side. Oh, what? Pelican pre-firing through the kitchen window, gonna take down users. That's the Warden off the board. That Ying gonna be a little bit more effective. No one there to directly counter her now, beyond just Harris with his ADSs. But we've spoke before about how easily they can be removed with a Ying.
Yeah, that's a good early pick there, not gonna lie, especially from a Thatcher onto a Warden. That's a pick that you probably wouldn't expect to go down so early on. Normally it'd probably be the other way around. As we saw last round, users did find a really early pick. Looks like a bit of a late setup being done here, and oh no.
He's ready for it.
Harris. Did Harris not hear it? I'm assuming there must have been no sound, because otherwise unless he was trying not to give away his position, or because Scorpio's going to peek this, and He's gonna drain out the Jaeger first. It seems like he may have actually jumped off the drone as Harris was there, so he may have got away with it.
Yeah, Harris
But
was just ready and waiting. Oh no, he loses it! He was ready for the fight, but loses it to Louis. Louis down to about 35, 40 points of health. And the execute might start to come on through in a 5 versus 3 now.
Yeah, Regnant are very still much in this game, and like I said, that stupid pack. Stop it! Josh Glitch also going to find one onto Monster, and this round kind of tilts back into the favour of the defense with the Ying off the board.
Yeah, Ying's gone, as you mentioned, so that pushing power is going to be gone. It's all up to the hard supports.
Attackers have located
Sky Nexus with the best gun, probably out of these attackers left up, but he gets taken down to very low HP, and oh no, the kills are coming back through. Pat and Josh Glitch going to get another kill apiece. 2-2 for them in the round. It's all left up to Sky Nexus now. Diffuser's down deep inside of dirt. Pat's asleep, are gonna know that, and the C4 comes on out, not able to finish him off, somehow avoiding that, but Pat catching him on the drop. And it's just been dominant from start to finish.
It's so dominant. Pats Asleep guarantee themselves at least another point in the league standings, and right now they're shaping up to end the Playday at around about. I think if they win this one 7-2, they will get another 5 months. They'll actually probably, I think, might go up to 4-4 third. I'm obviously not sure because the update from Lucendi's game hasn't been updated just yet. But they can definitely move up a position, and it's actually quite good to them.
Yeah.
To take this one.
Yeah. I have no doubt that they will take this one. It's just, how are they going to do it? The explosiveness that we've seen somehow from them still, even when they're defending, to just, they'll lose 2 people being over-aggressive early on, but they won't take their foot off the pedal. They will keep being as aggressive as possible, and it works out for them every single time.
Yeah, Regnant not really doing anything to... on attack, there's not much you can do. Gun attack. Do you mean that's why this map is defender-sided? Is because there's not much you can do with defenders, right? You gotta win your fights. Hit your shots. But on defense, there's a lot you can do. You can bring a lesion. I guess there's a lot to just hitting your shots as well. On defense, but there is other things you can do. Bring Castle to deny that rush. Like, have Valkyrie cameras set up to see where the rush is coming from. Because you're expecting a rush from Pat. They rushed every single attack round.
And it looks like
they played this series.
More spawn peaks. Yeah, every single attack round, as you mentioned, was a rush for Pat Sleep. Spawn peaks definitely on the card still as well. But he's just so ready for it. Users losing a lot of his health, trying to get aggressive early on though. So it's going to be a bit more difficult for him, and Josh Glitch is caught out at the moment. Louis, aware of his...
We've seen aggressive plays, but we've never seen anything this bad. I thought they're resetting just there for an extra 15 HP. Resetting isn't really a thing as much anymore because, well, there's no real need to do that as a, well, just like, why the bandit? Why is on the wrong side of the wall, Pat?
I think they're just having fun with the game now, not taking it too seriously. Pat, say his name and he will appear on both sides of the kill feed. Gonna get one and then get gotten. Scorpio taking him down. Jacuzzi wall has been opened up, and Pelican is actually already inside of logistics. Users getting one immediately traded out yet again. 3 versus 3. But logistics control is in favor of the attackers. That could make it quite difficult for the defenders to continue to hold on. Josh shooting, but not going to land anything there. And he gets swung on by them. He lands the shot! Pelican comes on out, but loses the fight as Josh is running away. Oh. Now the rush coming on in through Jacuzzi. Candela gets thrown. The second one gets thrown and actually blinds out Dowie. He didn't shoot it that time. Josh Glitch gets taken out. I thought he might have landed a shot there, but no, he just gets downed and eliminated from the game. Dowie inside of Jim. He might be making a lot of noise from this prone position. The C4 comes through, doesn't land any damage. The pre-fire, he spots one and is aware of their position. Harris is also alive, but he's over towards deeper inside a bedroom. He won't be able to assist if this push comes in immediately. And Ying is towards the top of the main stairs. Valk drops down and it's going to be left up to Harris inside the site to try and make something work. Candela's come on through and he takes the play outside the window. That's a diffuser down. Now it's all left up to Monster. 1 versus 2 to defusers outside of the gym window. And Harris is going to know that one player's downstairs flanking. Monster takes down Harris. He knows that the last player dropped, but he doesn't know where. The diffuser's been recovered, but there's only 30 seconds left. He doesn't know that Valk has already used her C4, or he might do as he pushes back on up. But Dowie's in a good position to watch this jump in if Monster elects to go for it. He's ready and waiting, but he loses the fight. Monster securing the round for Regnant. That's going to be the 3rd round of this map. And that was very close to just finishing the game right there.
Dowie's MPX there not helping him out at all. Really, yeah, it is the pea shooter of the game. I wouldn't say it's the worst gun in the game. I would say that's most likely the UMP. If we did a little poll right now on if it was the UMP or the MPX, I'm pretty sure most people say that the UMP is probably the worst gun in the game.
I know one person who definitely would. His name is Troy Canadian.
Oh, I've heard of that guy. I've heard of that guy.
I'm not going to try and pronounce his surname, but Troy Canadian, he seems to have very strong opinions about the quality of the UMP.
Jaroslavsky? Is that how you pronounce it?
Something like that. But, you know, now it's still match point for Pat Sleep. And they're going to try and defend... there it is, yeah. They're going to try and defend that CCTV room. This worked out well for them last time, although it was very close. Regnant has been looking a lot better on their attacks, at least in part due to Monster on the Ying.
The Ying just showing how strong she can be. And this is, right, if we're looking at this, Regnant can definitely bring this one back. It's only 3 rounds. It's not impossible, is what I'm trying to say here. It's not not doable, because they'll need to win 1-2, and then they've kind of got the momentum then. And obviously Monster's having a great game so far in the Ying, and obviously we saw Louis in the first round, I believe it was. First attack round for Regnant. He had a bit of light work with the Ying, but Ying is so strong in this meta. I don't think it was her Candela's that was the problem why people didn't pick her.
No, Ying has always been strong, but it's with the move away from that initial smoke meta, or the smoke everything up, Ying in and bring a Glass with the nerfs that came to Glass. Monster takes on users getting aggressive, and Warden once again gone off the board. And as well with the buffs to her gun, Ying definitely been making a comeback in a lot of different areas.
Oh, did I just see Pelican entering into kitchen? Can we go over to their feed machine? Was it Pelican going near kitchen?
Attackers have located a bomb.
If we could have a quick look. We'll have a look in a second anyway. But you can see this beach got open really quickly. He's on drone right now, so we can't see the exact location, but it looks like no, he's on the roof. My bad. I thought it was kitchen. Looks like
above the kitchen.
It's kitchen. What one was I seeing? Okay, kitchen door isn't open. Neither is kitchen window. Okay, guess I just see things nowadays. Maybe it was him rappelling onto the roof that I thought it was him like vaulting into the doorway. I don't know, but either way, he's not in the kitchen. Thank you for that one, observer. Beautiful.
A much more mediated attack coming through from Regnant. They got the breach open, but didn't go for the rush on it in. Pat, though, gonna peek on out and gets eliminated by Louis using that GAA1. Advantage, yet again, still in favor of Regnant on their attacks, but Pats have had a good job of coming back from this. Though he does get down, but he's not being picked up just yet. They were aware that he was down, but no one's in a good position to either finish off the kill, and now he has been picked up. The push coming through onto construction. Skynex is taking down Dowie as he goes for the swing. 2 versus 5. 2 players on low HP. That's Scorpio and Louis for Regnant. But they've got so much control, and on the rappel, the Ying gets taken, and he lands the shot!
Harris!
They have families.
But I just jumped out of my chair.
Yeah,
that was stupid.
Pelican getting the kill onto Josh Glitch. Scorpio has been down, so Harris kind of in a 1 versus 2 at the moment. He's able to finish off the kill, and he does a lot of damage onto Pelican, not able to finish him off. The swing comes through at the end to finish off Harris, but oh my god, Harris, what was that kill? onto the second player outside. Jesus.
Oh my god. At least we're getting a bit of fun, right? At least a bit of
Yeah.
fun. Like, it's great for us.
Don't worry, Louis. We weren't. Oh, we weren't
well,
spectating you there. No, you're all right.
but
But
there you go. Like I said, it's winnable for Regnant. You only need to take 2 more rounds. This one a little bit first. Church Arsenal. I think this one went the way of the defenders the first time pretty confidently. So I'm not sure what Regnant are going to do to turn this one around. But they
yeah,
definitely can.
Pats. I do believe they lost 2 players quite early on, putting themselves into a 5 versus 3, and then it was just Pat and Josh Glitch getting 2 kills each, leaving us then in a 1 versus 3, and the Hibana had no option but to drop through the blue hatch, where she got quite quickly finished off by Pat himself. So hopefully, what I want to see is Pat's Asleep continuing that same level of aggression that we've seen, but in a more mediated way. I don't want all these risky spawn peaks that we've seen users get finished off from quite early on, a couple rounds in a row. I want to see them play aggressively, but when the fights are in a position that they can work off of, because as we've seen in the last couple rounds, they've been playing aggressively off every single fight possible, and it's worked against them a little bit.
Yeah, like they've been like getting aggressive and way too aggressive, and like you said, it's been working against them because Regnant are reading into it and they're playing some good game. They're playing a good game. They're reading into their opponents and they're playing to win against their opponents.
Yeah, the adjustments that have been made by Regnant here are quite impressive.
Yeah, it is very tough for a team to adapt that much in their play style mid game. But well played to them for adapting so quickly and so well, just reading into what the opponents are doing. Like that's it. Like I'm not saying they're G2, but they're doing what G2 used to do, is where they adapt. They play. They wouldn't have their own kind of play style, so it was hard to read into them, and they just play against their opponents. And that's why sometimes you see G2 will win the first few rounds, and then they will just kind of build into the game.
Yeah.
Just because of the way they adapt to their opponents. They don't have a playstyle that makes them hard to read. Or that's what they used to do anyway. And since a few roster changes, it's obviously become a little bit tougher because you're still waiting to go chemistry. Anyway, we're not here to talk about G2. What am I talking about?
No, we're here to talk about Pat's Asleep and Regnant, but thank you for the analysis. It's quite a good comparison to make on over to the way that Regnant have adjusted. It's taken them a little bit too long, though. They are looking at the losing end of a best of 2. And on the losing end of this map. Minute 30 to go, no damage has been dealt either way. The controlled aggression from Pat's Asleep is definitely being shown. They're not going to go for all these risky early peaks that have put them on the back foot in so many situations. Now, the attack looks like it's stacking up to be potentially a bar take. Drop down into a moto, open up the church wall, and go for a plant behind the bar. A Maestro is in a decent position to try, or he's got Maestro cams in a decent position to try and counter this, and they have Harris inside of blue with Pat sitting close inside of the site. I think that might be his C4 up on the wall, and he swings around the corner, gets his kill onto Scorpion. That's a thermite down, and the diffuser on the floor. I'm not sure if they were able to actually get that wall open, and with Hibana not having many charges left, that's going to be so difficult for them. What an important opening kill to get. Now, the Ying is inside of Oil Pit, applying a lot of pressure onto the players in blue. Hibana looks like she's rotating over to join them. This is going to make it a little bit difficult for Harris to deny that take, but as our observer is kindly pointing out, the diffuser is still down inside of Moto. It's being collected by the Thatcher, and the swing! Monster wins the fight, but gets traded out. Users lands 1, and now blue control is in favor of Regnant, but all the kills. Pat gets 2, Louis gets 1, the pistol comes on out, it's finished off by Users. And Pat's Asleep gonna win this best of 2, 2-0. Both games going their way. Regnant not able to complete the comeback on Clubhouse.
Yeah, not able to complete the comeback. It was a close one, though. They definitely put up a great effort towards the end. What a great game it was to watch. I'd like to thank both teams for making it a great game, but especially Pat's Asleep for their rushes and stuff like that. Regnant, it's a tough one to play against those kind of teams. Those kind of teams. They're just an aggressive team, and it worked for them, right? So well played to Pat to Sleep for just keeping on what they were doing, winning their gunfight.